naked. And so, I mean, it's like opportunity is there, and I'll try to rub up against him, try to wake him up. He will not budge. And don't let me break his sleep, because then he's going to wake up with an attitude.
35-year-old Bailey Hurst and her 40-year-old common-law husband Roger Medlock once shared an impenetrable bond. But now everything in their relationship has fallen through the cracks.
He withholds sex. We might have sex maybe once a month if I'm lucky.
We can have sex 3 days in a row. If we don't have it the 4th day in a row, we're not having sex.
Bailey has dreams of making their union official, but Roger wonders if this common-law marriage can be saved. Today, on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Bailey Hurst and Roger Medlock. The two of you have been what most people call common law married, but in Texas, which is where you're from, you're informally married, and it's statutorily recognized that you have lived together, that you hold out yourself to be married, and you are in Texas, and that is what it is. So you are considered to have a marriage. Now you're worried that it won't survive. And in fact, Ms. Hurst, you're looking to take it to the next level, get that ring and that piece of paper. And Mr. Medlock, you got one foot out the door. That's what I heard. Now I don't know. We can figure this out. I'm going to start with you, Ms. Hurst. Why don't you tell me what's going on, what your concerns are, and why you've come to see me here today?
Okay. Roger and I have been together for almost 3 years now. And my biggest problem is his jealousy. He's like super jealous to where he tracks my mileage on the car.
How does he do that?
Well, when I used to drive his car because I had a problem with my car, then he would come out in the morning and like take pictures, write it down.
Of the odometer?
Yes. And I found it one day when I was going through his phone, because anytime, in my opinion, anytime somebody's looking for something, that's probably because they're doing something. Mm-hmm. And so I would go through his phone, I see pictures of the odometer, so I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, okay, that's why he knows, because he'll ask me, well, you just went to the camp to drop the kids off, so why is it that, you know...
You have 75 miles on the car.
Yeah.
Mr. Medlock, are you going there taking snaps of the odometer and comparing where she says she's been to where the miles tell you she might have gone?
Yes, I did start doing that, Your Honor. But
why?
The reason why is because I had just recently purchased a car.
Yeah.
And like a month later, I was looking at my odometer and I'm noticing I'm getting like 1,000 miles a week on my car. I had just had the car a couple of months. Within 2 months, I had over 15,000 miles. So with where my job is 20 miles away from my house. The kids were going to camp. It was about 25 miles away from the house. So when you do the mileage and you put everything together, the miles that were on my vehicle just didn't add up to where she was saying she was going.
15,000 miles, that's a lot of miles.
Yes.
Okay, now, I don't know if that number is accurate, okay?
Honor,
that's
me and
the
her
first
have had
thing.
arguments over and over again about 1,000 miles being put on my car a week.
Now, is he mad about the miles? Do you think he's mad because he thinks you're going somewhere you're not supposed to be?
That's what it is, because
or are you he just mad about you putting miles on his car and drinking up his gas?
Okay, for one, no, it's not his gas. I put my own gas in the car, because see, what he would do is put enough for him to get to work and then come home to where it's on E.
Right.
So I have to put my own gas in the car.
Your Honor,
I caught that game a long time ago.
True.
Okay, I got it. What other things does he do that makes you believe he's jealous?
Okay, it's Facebook. If somebody just likes a picture on Facebook, I gotta unfriend them because they like the picture.
That's not true.
You can't like a picture on my thing if you're male. Only females can like a picture. And I mean, it's not anything,
revealing or sexy.
I don't dress
just be
like
smiling.
I don't dress like that.
Mr. Medlock?
Okay.
What's the situation?
It was never an issue with social media. The issue that I had was the comments that some of the guys were making on her pictures. And all I simply asked her was, if you're going to let these guys just erase them so I don't have to look at them. And I don't.
What kind of comments were they making?
Basically talking about her body, what she was wearing. Some of the pictures that were on there were a little provocative. They may not have been negative, but it was certain positions that she was standing in, or the way she was sitting with her legs open or whatnot.
My legs open. No.
I didn't say the pictures were naked or anything.
No.
Okay. Well, my argument
legs
to her.
are closed in sweats.
My argument to her was basically, I don't care about you being on social media or whatnot, but if they're gonna make inappropriate comments that you know gonna bother me, just erase them.
When divorce court continues, does this relationship need a wake-up call?
He's got a point there. He's out climbing ladders, 125-degree heat all day long to bring home money to this house. How come if he goes to sleep, let him sleep? Do you want to give a wake-up call to a couple you think needs to either break up or get it together? If so, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Roger Medlock, who says his common-law wife Bailey is too flirtatious on social media. But there's still more to uncover in this relationship.
I sleep naked. And so, I mean, it's like opportunity is there, and I'll try to rub up against him, try to wake him up. He will not budge. And don't let me break his sleep, because then he's going to wake up with an attitude.
You also say that you're not allowed to initiate sex.
No,
Explain
he
that
withholds
to me.
sex. He withholds. We might have sex maybe once a month, if I'm lucky. Maybe twice, sometimes. I mean, it was very active. It was like 3-4 times, a week. But it has gone to it went to once a week. Then now it's like once or twice a month.
Are you guys arguing a lot and carrying on?
All the time.
Because that'll stop. I mean, because
All the time. So I mean, if you want to tell that, tell her all the time.
When we make up, can't you have makeup sex?
We don't. That's just it. We don't make up. So it is no makeup sex when you're not making up. So how do you have makeup sex when you don't make up? Because we don't make up. We'll have an argument, and that argument will last for a whole week. I get up every morning. I go to work. I fix air conditioners for a living. So in Texas, the heat index gets 125 degrees. I do commercial HVAC, so
right.
I work
outside.
on 30-story buildings to one-bedroom apartments. So, that's draining at the end of the day.
Sure.
Once you come home and you've been in that heat and you eat, you relax for a minute, a lot of times you'll just fall asleep because the heat then just wore you out. That's an argument. I get off work, I come home, I'll pass out. All you do is go to work and go to sleep. Okay, well, you go outside, you work, you climb up ladders, get up on rooftops, deal with 125-degree heat.
He's got a point there.
Okay.
He's out climbing ladders, 125-degree heat all day long to bring home money to this house. How come if he goes to sleep, let him sleep?
Okay, you know how many times I let him sleep? It's like
I got to go to work 5 days a week.
Every day.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I work.
exhausting.
I work. Look,
You're not outside climbing
I mess
ladders.
with kids, 30 or 40 of them, teaching them every day. That's not easy.
Okay,
either.
Yana,
Wait a minute,
she
wait a
just
minute,
started
wait a
working
minute.
again. She's been off.
Pause. And then, so I come home, have to cook dinner for the kids, have to check homework, have to prepare kids for the next day. I mean, I'm tired too, but I mean, once a month, I mean, come on, let's bump that up to at least 3 times a month.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Now, because I even, it's times that, and I sleep naked. And so, I mean, it's like opportunity is there, and I try to rub up against him, try to wake him up. He will not budge. And don't let me break his sleep, because then he's going to wake up with an attitude.
Mr. Medlock, I'm not going to ask you to defend
because
that.
that's not true. With her, we can have sex 3 days in a row. If we don't have it the 4th day in a row, we're not having sex enough. That's the truth. And then another thing about me being overly jealous and all of that, Miss Hurst has a heart condition. I've actually had people break into my house because she's been blacked out on the bathroom floor, and I couldn't get in touch with her. So me calling her all the time is because I've never been with a woman that you can speak to sometimes and her heart start messing with her. She'll black out. So me calling her all the time, most of that is to make sure she's okay, because if it gets too hot, that will affect her. I mean, it's just a bunch of things that affect her. So
Mr. Medlock,
showing concern.
you say you got one foot out the door, but you talking like a man who loves her.
I do. And see, that's what's frustrating. That's what's so frustrating about it, is because when you talk about things like me being overly jealous because I'm calling you all the time, and then I come to you and I tell you, well, you know, I've never been with somebody that has a heart condition to where I can be sitting here having a
So
conversation.
your concern is being misread as jealousy.
all the time.
When divorce court continues, has Bailey reduced Roger to tears?
I'm crying, basically just trying to tell her how I feel about our communication, how I can't come to her and tell her anything.
Do you think Bailey nags Roger too much? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-1991 now.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at divorcecourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Bailey Hurst, who claims her common-law husband Roger Medlock is overly jealous. But is it Bailey who's envious of another lady in Roger's life?
The kids will tell me in the middle, lady came in here, she was just whining and whining. They have to go to school the next morning. And my problem with the dog, if the kids can't come in the room, why his funky dog can come laying up in the room, stinking up the room? That dog smells.
You said in your papers, Mr. Medlock, that you've cried over her. Tell me what you...
Well, I've
tell me
cried.
what
I've
has
cried
happened.
basically just trying to tell her how I feel about our communication, how I can't come to her and tell her anything. It seems like anytime I say something to her, instead of her just listening and hearing me out, she'll hear one word that may be one negative sentence in that paragraph. She'll take that sentence out of that paragraph. Next thing you know, she done flip from what I was trying to address to her. Now we're talking about that
Can you
one
give me an example of that? Do you remember an argument?
Well, I know, okay, my dog, for instance. Now, before me and Miss Hurst moved in with each other, she seen the relationship I had with my dog. When she moved in with me, and as far as relationship, I'm talking about,
I know, yeah.
you know.
I know, you just like your dog.
Okay, I was
get
told
it.
I was a dirty person because I gave my dog a dog treat, and she walked to the kitchen to get her dog treat.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm not done talking, okay? Was told that I was basically inconveniencing the kids because my dog, when everybody's asleep, if a door is open, if you got a pet, your pet is gonna wanna try to come be close to you. So before Miss Hurst moved in, when I would go to sleep, my dog would come in the room and would sleep on the floor. Okay, so I was inconveniencing them because the dog would go in the room and sleep with the kids. That was an argument. So I told her, I said, well, have the kids close the door if you don't want the dog going in there.
Why can't the dog go in and sleep with the kids?
It was not that, okay, the dog was tearing up comforters and covers that I spent my money on. He didn't reimburse me for that. He didn't reimburse me for that.
So was the dog destructive?
No.
The dog peed in the house.
No.
The dog still pees in the house.
Okay, anytime
Wait
you have a
minute.
dog and she's in the
I'ma tell you
house for
problem
10,
with the
12
dog.
hours and they're not getting outside, of course they're going to go
Yeah, but
in the
remember, I
house.
was unemployed. So
Right, so why were you letting her
the dog
outside?
out. So let me tell you, it wasn't that. It wasn't inconvenience. The kids would tell me in the middle, lady came in here and she was just whining and whining. They have to go to school the next morning. And my problem with the dog,
Close the door.
if the kids can't come in the room, why his funky dog can come lay up in the room, stinking up the room? That dog smells.
Well, Ms. Hurst, while we're talking about the children, that brings me to a good point. You say you think he's jealous of the kids.
Not necessarily jealous of the kids. It's like he compares himself a lot.
Can I give you an example?
Let me explain. He compares himself a lot to the kids. So it's like, well, what did you cook today? I cooked this, and you know, something that he normally eats. I don't want that. I bet if it was one of your kids, you would have made this. Now, while you talking about the kids and comparing yourself to the kids, one time I asked him to give me some bacon in the middle of the night. It wasn't in the middle of the night, but it was like right before 10. He didn't want to get up, but that dog needed some food, baby. He went out and got her some dog treats. She had food, but he went out and got dog treats.
Okay,
Mr. Carr, I'm gonna let you respond.
That's untrue. First of all, I would never I would never get up at no 10 o'clock at night and go get my dog some dog food. First of all, you can't even get dog food that late. Because
yeah,
where I get her dog food, the store closes at 9:30. Okay. then on top of that, like I said, she knew the kind of relationship I had before my dog. Her kids love the dog.
He treats the dog better than me.
When divorce court continues, Judge Lily's heartfelt advice.
Never make a man tell you he doesn't want you more than once. Do you think Bailey nags Roger too much? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-1991 now.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Bailey Hurst and Roger Medlock, who have been common law married for 2.5 years, but now are asking if this marriage can be saved.
Ms. Hurst, you want $500 from Mr. Medlock. Why don't you tell me why?
Okay, we moved out of the house that we shared together, and we moved in with a family member. Him and the family member kind of had words or whatever.
Right.
And so, I mean, it wasn't a big fallout. It was over some money. His dog had to go, basically. Dog couldn't stay at this person's house, so he was going to have to leave too. Now, so I said, okay, well, if he's going, we're a family. So we're going to all go, you know. And so he went to his uncle's house. I went to my uncle's house. And so I'm just out there just like really looking for places for us to stay and trying to find a place for us to stay together. He's out there searching for a 1-bedroom for himself. So he tricked me, I think, into, he was like, well, I said, well, why can't you let me hold the deposit? Why can't you let me, I said, okay, I'll let you hold half the deposit, but when it's time for us to move, I need you to have this money. He moved
put the deposit on the 1-bedroom.
He moved 2 days later after we was over my uncle's house. I was at my uncle's house a whole week, so he didn't even let me come stay with him for that whole
What do you
week.
have to say about that, Mr.
Okay, Your
Medlock?
Honor, first of all, when we moved out of our house in Arlington, I told her from the beginning I didn't want to live in Fort Worth. Only places she was looking for were houses in Fort Worth, okay? My thing was I told her I would go stay with my dog over to my uncle's house until we found a place, all right?
Because it was more important for you to stay with your dog?
We didn't have no place to go. See,
Exactly.
that's what she's not telling you.
I just said that.
We were staying at a family member's house. She went to go stay with another family member that I couldn't stay with, so I had to go stay with one of my family members.
I got you.
That's how that
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
And
you, in turn, Mr. Medlock, would like to have me award you $500 for what?
For what? For a car accident she had.
Tell me about it.
Okay, Miss Hurst was driving my car. Someone hit her. She didn't have a legal driver's license, so what happened was the guy's insurance never took care of it. I had to fight with my insurance company for like 3 months. They eventually paid for the damages. I had to pay a deductible. She was driving the car. All I asked was maybe she would help with the deductible that I had to come up with, considering she was driving the car and the wreck happened while she was driving.
You got a place to stay?
Yes.
You and your kids?
Yes.
And he's not there?
No.
Never make a man tell you he doesn't want you more than once. He said it.
Yeah.
When he got that 1-bedroom, he said
You're
he
right.
doesn't want you.
You're right.
And all the loving and wanting, whatever in the world, ain't gonna change that. And you fine, you cool, you're intelligent, you're educated, move forward, because he's done.
Okay.
And the relationship, the relationship is just madness. I was gonna tell you about how to have a conversation and communication, but I've got rigidity over here, and I've got frustration over there to such a level with kids involved that I don't see a way out of it. I really don't. If you can find a way out of it with some counseling, do that. But he's told you he doesn't want you, and
Yeah.
once a man says that, you need to believe it.
Okay.
Let it go.
Right.
I heard both of your claims. I don't think either one of them are worth a dime. There will be no recovery either way. Good luck to you. This matter is adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave